We live. We live. We got it set up, y'all.
What's up, Full Circle? It's your boy Flask. We got Official Go-Getter behind the camera. He's coming up, coming at you with another live stream Twitch / was Wednesdays. Coming straight at you with it, man. Tell them how you feeling today.
Feeling good, man. Today we just gonna be laid back. We're gonna share our personal stories, personal mindset when it comes down to the different things, when it comes down to stocks, market, crypto, life, right? But with that being said, man, we're gonna get started. And let's first start with, Flash. Tell me how it's Wednesday, man. How the week been so far, man? Let us know. For you.
Yeah, we sitting at the middle of the week. Good middle of the week too. It feels like a Wednesday, honestly. Sitting right in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? We got 2 more days to go. Yeah. Feeling like money. Yeah. What about you?
I'm feeling the same way. I'm feeling good, man. Middle middle of the week, Wednesday. You guys see the scenery, new scenery. This is the spot now. I just moved into the new spot on Mondays, and this is the rooftop of the view, man. So we got new scenery. This is where you guys can see us post up a lot more frequently here, right? But just feeling good, man. Feeling good, ready to knock this Twitch stream out, right? And then get into Wealth Wednesdays later, man. Feeling a little mellow, feeling a little chill, but still feeling good. Yeah, man. So what we got today, man? What's up there?
Yeah, I started off. I kicked it off. All right, so today, chill vibes, like Official Go-Getter said. We're on some chill. We're chilling today, right? And we're not really talking about no charts. We're not really talking about. Just talking about the overall of how we're feeling and what not only motivates us, but what deters us sometimes as well. What keeps us going? What are things that change us? And so to start out, the first question is, how has money changed us, rather positively or negatively, right? And so what I'll say first is the fact that for me personally, money has changed the way that I see how things move and operate on their own, right? Because without money, there's not really a lot of effort into things that don't work, right? So without money, it's like kind of the flow of things, right? And so for me specifically, how I've been able to create a relationship with money is by realizing that my time is not money, right? My worth is money, right? But my time is time. And so with just that alone, I go to work differently, right? When I get up and I'm looking at the charts, right? We're not talking about the charts, but when I see it, it's not, I'm looking at, the fluctuation of, how the company's doing or whatever. I'm seeing where the money's going, right? And where the money is driving and where it's headed at, right? And yeah, it changed. I had to rewire that in myself, like, how does this really affect me in my everyday? And it made me start looking at books, things, resources differently, like books, right? TED Talks, podcasts, everything that would have some sort of, that is kind of circulated around money. It made me look at it differently to the extent of accepting it for what it is and not what I want it to be. Yeah. What about you? How's money changed you?
That's a good breakdown of what you just said. Accepting it for what it is, not what you want it to be. I would piggyback off of that because the biggest thing that I've learned from how money has changed me is money works a lot with systems, right? Obtaining wealth it's not really about just grunt hard work or just brute hard work. It's not really just about working as hard as you can. It's about working as smart as you can and building the systems in place. And no matter where you are, you can always put a system in place. So like what he said about, for what it is, for not what you want it to be. If you're somewhere right now, you're not where you want it to be, and you work in your job and you're 9 to 5, right? Accepting that and building a system around that. And what I mean by systems is the fact that, you're not just going to change your situation or obtain wealth just by going through the motions, right? So when people be like, I got motion, when a lot of people be like, oh, he got some motion, whatever the case is, when you define emotion, right, you shouldn't just be wanting to just move around and do things just to do things and get some money just to get some money, right? Because how you get the money and how it flows matters. So building a system in place, right? So if you're working a 9 to 5, right, having a system with that 9 to 5 money, putting 10% of it away, right? Understanding that the 9 to 5 is your stability money. That's how I look at it. It's my stability money that's gonna pay for the rent. It's gonna pay for my life, and anything other than that, such as trading, such as um, trading, any other. My bad. The reason why I'm pausing right now and stuttering is because there's other endeavors that we've both been working on but aren't ready to say yet. So basically what I'm just trying to get at is that, whether you're trading, whether you doing some nails, whether you having another job, whatever the case is, put a label on your income, right? Put it to work. All your money should be to work. So yeah, that's how money has changed me, looking at everything like a system, right? What's next?
Yep. The next question is, what does discipline outside of the market look like, right? And so not necessarily about the market, right? Not necessarily about, specifically not trading and the charts and the market. How does discipline show up in your everyday life, or our everyday lives? And for starters, kind of we're getting a little bit personal. I have a son, right? And so I take time out of the day to ensure that we're learning something every day. Rather it be about, right, what's the best cereal as far as how to read a book, right, and how to add and multiply and subtract and things like that. So in the discipline aspect, sticking to that every day and ensuring that my son learns every day, right, and not just, living a younger kid life, right? We're doing the things that we need to do. So when we get to the stages of actually having more responsibility and on top of discipline, we have that instilled, and it's not a task. It's more of something that is mandatory, right? It's not like, oh, I gotta, something that he would dread, right? Me either, right? Because it takes discipline within myself to find things that we should be researching and talking about or learning about in that matter, as well as being on time, right? This is kind of overlooked, I feel, because I know guys that will never be on time, right? It's really hard for them to show up at 8 o'clock, right? You got to be there at 10, got to show up at 10, right? Be there at 6, got to show up at... I know a lot of people my age and older that have a hard time with being on time. And so I tend to prepare earlier, right, within the set time frame. If I got to be at work, right, if I have to pick up my son off the bus at 3:30, 4 or 5 o'clock, whatever, I'm going to be there earlier so that I have the time and mental capacity to prepare for me to be where I'm at, right? And so specifically timing is what I hold the most discipline in with when it comes to being on time, is being on time. Yeah. That was kind of circles.
No, I mean, but like, it was needed to be said though, right. Because what I'm gonna say on top of that is what Flash kind of just summed up right now is just being disciplined in your day-to-day life is the way to go. Is the way to go, because how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So in order for us to even be as disciplined as we are on the charts and as disciplined as we are when it comes down to the market and investing, it's not possible without us being disciplined in our daily lives, right? So whether that's, just owning up, holding your word, right? Like you said, being on time, right? Waking up at the time you said you were gonna wake up, doing things, because it's really a mindset, right? It's just doing, even if you're doing things around the house, whatever the case may be, right? But disciplining your daily lives for me, it looks like when I'm not on the charts, my life is also structured. So that means, going to get a workout in, going to the gym, right? The charts aren't the only thing that we're learning, so making sure that I'm putting my mind somewhere to learn some more, right? And just making sure that I'm being open-minded to daily life and life's experiences so it can teach me what it's trying to teach me, right? So discipline it doesn't really just work in one place, right? Because like I said at the beginning, the only reason why we are disciplined the way we are on the charts, and the only way you can get disciplined the way you are on the charts, or the way you want to be on the charts, is if you are like that, because that's just who you are. And that's the one thing about trading and investing is that we both love, I could say, is that it's it teaches you a lot about yourself, and you improve off of that, right? So yeah, that's how discipline looks for both of us in our daily lives, right? And comparing it to trading as well, right? It also looks like taking a loss and getting back to the drawing board and doing what we need to do to come back with our strategy to win the next time, right? So that's both for trading and life, right? Because the same principles that you learn from trading, just apply them to your life. Vice versa, apply the same principles you learn from life to trading, right? But it all just depends on how your mindset is and how you're living your life, right? So that's subjective to everybody. So yeah, I like that one. Yeah. That was a good one.
I'm gonna add one more piece as well, because what you were saying started to make me think, right? And another it's a different lens. You gotta walk with me real quick. Being disciplined is just as important as being outside of the market. Being disciplined outside of the market, to me, also looks like self-awareness, right? If you can get to the point where you understand where your faults are, or even when you won, right? Just like you were saying, getting back to that strategy, no matter if you won or lost, right? You still have to be self-aware enough to be like, hey, I did this, I did that, I got the job done. Or I did this, I did that, and it may not have been the right decision or move to make, but still I'm here back at the board drawing and trying to figure out the most strategic plan for me to come out on the upside, right? So yeah, just want to touch up on that. Just being self-aware is another discipline that is also overlooked.
Very true. I completely
You want to touch up?
I don't want to touch up for real because you said it all.
Yeah.
Anything I'd say would be just rambling, but self-awareness is yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Feel that. 100%. You wanna start this off?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
You see. So the next one we got right now. So we just went through how money changed us, how discipline looks for us outside the market. Right. Next is the cost of dreams. Right. So we're gonna discuss some things that we've sacrificed. Right. This is a good topic. Some things that we've sacrificed, such as sleep, such as jobs, comfort, to chase this vision. Right. Okay. I really do like this. As far as man, I really like that one because it really hits to the heart, because if you are really grinding, if you're somebody who's really on this journey, which you are if you're watching this video and you relate to us, man, if you haven't started the journey yet, right, there's a lot of different sacrifices that you're going to make. There's a lot of jobs that you're going to work. Like, I was just shooting a podcast episode yesterday, and we was talking about whether or not college is a scam. And along that was, I think wholeheartedly that college is a scam in its way, right? Not all of it is completely is a scam, but the reason why I'm saying it's a scam is just because, man, there's so much that life teaches you, right? That you can learn a lot from college, but the reason that I'm bringing this up, right? Let me bring it back full circle, because I'm kind of losing my train of thought, right? Is cost. Damn, bro, let me get it back again.
Yeah.
I'm tripping. So the uncomfortability is what I was trying to get at. The uncomfortability that you go through when you're chasing your dream and chasing your vision. Just life experiences are just some things that you can't teach in college, right? But I'm only saying that to make my point of, if you're somebody who doesn't...
It's a ladybug.
Oh my gosh.
This guy's lucky right here.
That's crazy. But nah, if you're somebody who's who's in college or going to college or thinking about going to college, right? I forgot what I'm getting at. Let me just answer the question, dog. Discuss what you've sacrificed to chase your vision. A lot, right? The reason why I brought that up again is because I sacrificed going to college and looking dumb. You know what I'm saying? To chase this vision. I sacrificed working all type of jobs. I've worked too many jobs that I can count, right? Stayed up at countless nights, countless sleepless nights. There's a lot, man. We could just bounce off this topic back and forth, man.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. He said everything, right? I'm gonna get a little more specific, man. I've had to sacrifice not only friendships, right? I've had to sacrifice time. I've had to sacrifice money, right? Like, it gets to the point where you have to really set your. There's everything happens for a reason, specifically when it comes to what you want to do, right? So, in particular, I sacrificed my old job to be where I'm at now. Excuse me. I wasn't working where I'm at. Where I'm at is how can I say that without what I've sacrificed is the fact that I had a good stable job, right? That allowed me to do what I needed to do, right? But I wasn't taking advantage of the opportunity, right? And so I had to take myself out of my shoes and look like, hey, right? Is this what is the better for growth, right? Is this gonna help me in the long run staying at this job and allowing, right, let's just say negativity to remain, right? Being undisciplined, being lazy, right? Those are all sacrifices that I had to make to be at this new job where I'm at now, and being around the people and the systems that would allow me to grow in the first place, right? So that when it comes to time, I've had to sacrifice friendships as well. There's a lot of people. For those who are watching, right, you're gonna get into this type of mode where you're so locked in. It's kind of hard to be even in that crowd that you were in before. And I know that Official Go-Getter can break this down, but you're gonna be in a position where it's like that crowd that you're used to currently, or trying to get out of, is gonna get old, right? It's gonna get tiring. It's gonna get time consuming as well. You're gonna spend a lot of energy trying to help other people's situations when they don't really have the same type of drive, or even want the same success story as you. They want to be just around for that cause, right? And just to say that they were around. And sacrificing friends is something that had to. It's like it has to be done in order for growth to come through. You know what I'm saying? And it has to be. You have to be serious about it, serious about it as well, because those same traps that those people were putting you in, or you putting yourself in situations with those people that would look like something that isn't beneficial, will keep reoccurring, right? You will continue to be, in positions where you don't want to be because of other people. So you taking advantage of, you sacrificing that type of mindset as a whole will put you in a better position and place than the people that you will be in the same position that the people you look up to, right? And we've had that same type of interaction. It's kind of crazy, actually.
It is kind of crazy. Nah, that is so very crazy. What I'm trying to, so he answered something personal with a personal story. I'm gonna answer with a personal story. So piggyback what he touched on. I sacrificed. You have to sacrifice your whole entire identity, like literally. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I had to sacrifice the whole entire identity every day, right? So in order for me to be able to feel confident enough to sit up here and talk to you guys and talk about the topics that I'm talking about confidently, it took what he was talking about, right? It took me not only losing friends, but it took me leaving friends. It took me leaving relationships. It took me, now I live out here in the city. As I just told you, I moved into the spot Monday, right? But if you're from Seattle and like I used to live in Federal Way, which is on the whole other side. We could look on the freeway. We're on the freeway right now. That's 30 minutes, 40 minutes out from Seattle, right? But I would take myself out of that environment because of the people that I was around and hanging around in that environment to come to Seattle every day, right? I mean, I promise you, every day. And I've been doing this for I live here now, but it was about it's 2025. It's been like 2 years now, right? Flask, my first year I ever came out here, after 2023, October, right? I met him because I told myself I'm not going to continue taking myself to the old environments, right? I'm going to get out of my environment that I was trapped in, right? And take myself to a whole new environment, which is uncomfortable. And then I met who I'm sitting with here now, right? And we're building because I wanted to put myself around like-minded people to actually have somebody around me who builds, right? So you got to sacrifice your whole entire identity and be okay with that. And the thing is that I'm gonna say about that too is it feels uncomfortable because you feel like you're doing other people a disservice, right? You feel like your friends, you may lose some friends, or they may not look at you the same, or your friends not may be able to come with you. But that's also you doing them a disservice because your friends may be waiting on the one person that they could see do something different, right? And I had a lot of friends who were stuck the same way I was stuck, but I had to leave them to unstuck myself, and unstuck in myself got my friends to be able to have the confidence to unstuck themselves. So I'm saying that to say, not only are you letting yourself down right now by not making that move and changing your identity to work on that and sacrifice, right? But you letting other people down and you don't even know it. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I can't really go too much deeper than that because we covered the real basis of sacrifices, right? Like it's really it's a lot there, right? And you have to really find who you are, right?
Okay, he got a snake. You see a snake and it sheds, bro. You literally have to shed. My dad has said something one time, right? When you grow, right? You don't want to grow and be a big ass square building. What you want to grow is you want to be a skyscraper because the floor always becomes your ceiling, right? So you go up one level, that one becomes the floor, and you go up another and another, right? So yeah,
absolutely.
You want to keep growing and shedding yourself and keep going, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Coming in with this guy right here, man. Okay, so yeah.
Good clips.
Absolutely, great clips. So now the question is, what we both value now, right? And what success/wealth looks like to us and how has it changed over time. So I'm gonna be the first one to tell you right now, man. I thought success and wealth was material things, right? I thought the culture of being a black dude, right, with the big ass bussy chain, right, with the big necklace, right, with the bussy earrings, with the Benz sitting on 24 Forgiatos, right? I'm thinking that's what success looks like, and I was completely fooled, right? And it came to the point where I kind of had to have like what some might call it is an ego death, pretty much. And it's like a lot of the things that we think that matter don't matter in the slightest, right? And so to answer the question and what wealth and success looks like to me now is freedom. It looks like peace. It looks like the ability to do what I want, right? Whenever, with whoever, however, right? It doesn't really matter. Money is materialistic, right? Money can, look, the thing that I like to say is that if you're in the right place, money will fall right in your lap, right? Money definitely grows on trees, right? And it's about who is planting and fertilizing those tree seeds the right way, right? And the money will fall right in your lap if you're in the right place. I can't stress that enough, right? So money is nowhere near as important as peace and freedom, and that's what success and wealth looks like. Me being able to take not only my family, but like a community of people that I can impact and take them on and under my wing, and we are all thriving together, right? We are all like-minded people, and just being ourselves 100% and not having to be some sort of decoy, right? And not being somebody that we're not, right? This right here is wealth. There's nothing in the world that can beat this right here. This entire interaction, there's nothing in the world that can overtake this right here, this moment, right? And so on top of peace and freedom, it's really being able to be humble, right? Being humble. It's a lot hard. It's very hard for you to get sidetracked and think about things that don't have immediate effect on your life other than peace and freedom, because the moment freedom is taken from you and peace is taken from you, you're going to feel it, right? You lose money, it's like, whatever, right? I can give the money back. But when it comes to having peace, that's something that you can't get, and it hits different when it's taken away from you. Your self-awareness as well as your state of mind, it gets really impactful when those things are taken away from you. And that is how I see success and wealth. As well as, I don't want to take too much. You might.
Yeah, go ahead.
As well as investing, right? if you have the ability to invest in any form, whether it's $2, right, whether it's 30 cents, if you got money, or even things that you can take your time and investing in yourself, that is the ultimate wealth key right there. That can open as you don't. I can't stress it enough. You have the right keys to open the. You have the time to invest into yourself within any department, any niche. That is also what wealth looks like to me, 100%. As well as investing in assets that can, grow over time. That is, of course, that's a given, right? But specifically investing into your time, into yourself, top tier.
Yeah, man.
Top tier.
Yeah, man. Yeah, brother said everything, but what I will touch on is what he started with, is that we was fooled, bro. I was fooled, bro. Like, wealth, I started everything, I promise you. I started what I started because I wanted the bust down chain, I wanted the car, I wanted the clothes. I'm so far from that now, it hurts to even say it, because I don't feel none of that shit no more. But, like, I started all this just so I could be all of that, just looked at as, this guy with all this money, whatever the case may be, and as far as you go deeper on this journey, like you said, you get that ego death because you realize more often than not, 9 times out of 10, the guys with all that money, let's just say, it's not as hard as you think to obtain a look, right? It's one thing to look wealthy, but it's another thing to be wealthy. So I really think that real wealth, like we've learned the psychology of money, is being wealthy without having to flex it. Like having 100,000, but still, there's nothing wrong with wanting to go get the nice stuff at all. But it's about your mindset with it, right? It's about getting 100,000 and saying, okay, I'm gonna make sure I buy my assets. I'm gonna buy my assets before I go and buy my liabilities, right? I'm gonna make sure that I go buy, this property, that I make sure I invest this money, and then I'm gonna have that pay for the things that I really want to splurge on, which may be clothes and cars, because how you obtain the materialistic items matters more than obtaining it itself, right? Like, how you obtain it matters. And yeah, bro, I've definitely realized, especially after us being in the tech scene and us living in Seattle, right? Real wealth, it's not really flexed, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with ain't nothing wrong with having materialistic things that cost a lot of money. But I will say there is something wrong with flaunting and flexing those materialistic things, because you ain't going about. You might as well not have it, because your mindset, it isn't matching the frequency of what you have. So, yeah, man, nah.
Can we touch on that?
Yeah, literally.
Just like you were saying, it's not the fact that you have all this, this nice and materialistic things that make you, maybe happy on the inside, right? But the problem becomes when that is your persona, right? And that's your personality. Like, you're the guy who got, the $100,000 all the time, right? You're the guy who, But then on the downside, you don't even know what to do with it, right? And it's like, Don't make that your personality, where you're just the guy with, you're the flexer, right? With nothing other than that to show for it, right? You this whole time, them big flexers, they'll be taking care of their kids, right? Their room be dirty. They have a terrible relationship with their family members, right? They're untrustworthy even, right? Like their name is, they have to rebrand and be who they really aren't because of who they really are, right? They have to put on this mask and be somebody else. And that, building off of that, full circle, wealth is silent. Wealth is nowhere near loud in any capacity, right? We know Jeff Bezos off of Amazon, right? We know what Amazon does, right? We know that Jeff Bezos is, he is Seattle, if we're being frank, right? Like, we know, everyone knows Jeff Bezos. So it's like, he's not out here, every week buying Lambos. He's not buying 3, 4, 5 yachts in a span of 6 months, right? Or I mean, I don't know really, but we don't see that, right? This is not what we see. That's not the persona of Jeff Bezos we get. We get this CEO, right? We hold ourselves very accountable of CEOs, right? We're not flaunting the fact that we got this, that, and the third, right? We have full circle, right? And that's what you're gonna know us by this. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, just wanted to touch up on that. Yeah, please,
man. Because you know, shout out to my boy Aristotle Investments, man. We learned a lot from you. You know, you definitely inspiration. He made a video recently, and he was trying to say that money is loud, right? You know, a lot of people say money is silent, right? Money is loud is what he was saying, and I was gonna sit here and disagree with him because Flash just said wealth is silent, but I'm gonna say, you know, money is loud, but wealth is silent, right? Money is loud, right? You can have money loud, right? You can have the car that's loud, that scream money. You can have the outfit that scream money, but wealth is silent, man. You know, wealth is that person who got the money who ain't screaming it. He just made the deal and walked out and didn't tell nobody he made the deal. I mean, Flask and I didn't count on. That's how we live our life. We make countless moves, and we don't need to tell nobody that we made the move, right? Because the move speaks for itself, right? Even what we got working on right now that you guys are gonna see, right? We've been working, right? You know, you guys have seen it behind the scenes that, you know, we've been quiet a little bit, right? Not as consistent as we need to be, and we even sacrifice. Talking about sacrifices, we sacrifice reputation a little bit. We sacrifice looking a certain way, all for the greater cause of what we know that we're coming with. That's gonna help you guys tenfold, right? And that's gonna change everything. So, you know, wealth is silent, but money, man. If you want to talk about that paper, man, the paper is loud. Everybody got some paper.
I do feel you. For sure. Speaking of sacrifices, I want to go back before we get out of here. Little do you know, fun fact. Me and this guy right here wore the same shoes for almost a year. Nah, you went longer than me, right? We was wearing the same shoes every single day for a year, right? And he was even longer than I was, right? Checked. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Hey,
little do you know.
The last pair of shoes was the Nike P6000.
Come on.
We all good. We gonna pick it up, man. The last pair of shoes I had was the Nike P6000s, man. I went and copped these New Balances. And I was just talking about that the other day. I went from wearing those shoes for a minute. I went from the Yeezys wearing those for a year. I went to the P6000 wearing those for months and months and months. And then I just bought these. These are the 90-day runners. I ain't took these off in about 90 days, man. So look.
Speaking of sacrifice.
And you talking about sacrifice, it ain't really just about money at all, really. If I'm being honest, it's really just about the mindset, right? It's really about the mindset. Like, it's about the fact that, man, these shoes is symbolically saying, man, I'm in that mode.
Yeah.
I'm in that mode. These is the I don't even got a name.
It's the Holy Grails.
Literally, you know, all you need is a pair of black kicks. He got the Yeezys, right? All you need is a pair of black kicks that is comfortable. Wear them every day, bro. Now it's no longer compartmentalized. I don't have to compartmentalize when I wake up and say, damn, what kicks am I gonna wear? I got the kicks. I got the uniform. The same way you wear a uniform for work. Absolutely. Uniform for the life. This nigga wear all. He wear. You guys see, he's dipped in denim tears in a pair of Jordans and this right here. But I promise you, I've seen this fit 5 times. Like he got his drip. But even if you want to be somebody who's drippy, it's a perfect example, right? He's intentional with it. You know, he's not out here trying to look the best and wear 8 different outfits, brother. That's his drip. That's it.
All a mindset thing. Absolutely. And that's gonna conclude this live stream, man. We coming at you live and direct. You see how we coming today? It's more of a humor approach, right? We're usually talking about how, you know, the effects of money necessarily, right? Today we're talking about how we feel about it, right? Yeah. And how we approach it in different aspects, right? And you can connect all of those, what we talked about, to money, like we usually talk about, is what I was saying. But to conclude this, yeah, man, stay disciplined, right?
How we doing both Wednesdays tonight? Are we making this both Wednesdays, or are we getting on the Discord?
You know,
a little hour or something?
We could do both.
Well, yeah, bro. We see y'all tonight. We got
yeah.
both Wednesdays, man. We gonna be on there. We gonna figure out what we coming with, but we always come up with something, man.
Come on.
We're figuring out our book too. We're working on a new book. We're working on a lot of stuff for you guys. We're working on the VIP stuff so you guys can really get what you need, man. Yeah. Man, but yeah, man, that's it. You got anything else you need to say?
Nah.
Man, follow us on the Instagram at FullCircleWealth, man. Discord at FullCircleWealth, right? Tune in. Let us know if you guys learned something. Comments, whatever the case is.
There it is.
Pleasure doing business, man.
Come on.
Check the view out. Check the view out. Check the view out, nigga. Ah!
Right in the city, too. We ain't never too far from the city, baby.
We ain't ever too far from the city.
Look at all
You
that
see the
traffic,
freeway?
man, all that money. Come on, man.
You see the freeway? Check me out, man.
Come on, man. Full circle wealth. You know how we doing it.
I can't end this.